news. You know, any day now we could hear about test results on a child's body found by a river in southeast Michigan. Police in Monroe say they believe it's that of little Nevaeh Buchanan, 5-year-old who disappeared 2 weeks ago riding her scooter outside her apartment. And while we await the DNA testing, this statement from her mother, quote, "I'm completely innocent. I did not have anything to do with my daughter's disappearance." Joining us to talk about it, we'll take your calls, by the way, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Mike Brooks is with us, our HLN law enforcement analyst. Also joining us by phone, Shane Hinojosa, Nevaeh's father. Shane, you with us?
Yeah.
Shane, first off, how are you holding up? Our prayers are with you for strength in this tough time. How you doing?
Well, I'm hanging in there, doing the best I can, After I heard the news that, they did find the body, it took a toll out of me, but as of right now, I'm just waiting on the phone call, from the lab right now, so I'm hanging in there.
Shane, do you have any hope that little Nevaeh is okay?
Yeah, I have a lot of hope.
Well, we hope as well. What are police telling you, Shane, about this case?
They're not really telling me too much. They just want to keep everything quiet for right now, so don't leak out to the media because it messes up their investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But they're keeping us informed as much as they can.
Gotcha. What do you think happened to Nevaeh? Who do you think took her?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I live 20 miles away, and I haven't seen her in 3 years. I don't know, the people they hang out with, so I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm. Have you spoken with Nevaeh's mom?
I spoke to her the first day I come down to Monroe, and a couple of times after that, but recently, no, I haven't talked to her.
Have you had the conversations about, well, let's not beat around the bush. You're talking about convicted sex offenders around Nevaeh. Have you had that conversation with her?
Yes, and I asked her, why are you taking, my daughter around, people like that? And she said the only response she had was she looked down and shrugged her shoulders.
Does she, she is obviously upset as well, but does she understand the error in judgment there?
Yes.
She does?
Yeah, yeah.
Shane, hang tight here. I want to bring in Mike Brooks at this point. Again, Mike, we've talked about this case a lot. As you see it, Mike, do you see it? And again, no one's even named a suspect yet. Let's say that. But what are you seeing, Mike? You see an arrest soon in this?
I do, and hopefully they were able to glean some evidence from the site where they found the body. But you still have to think about the mother's judgment. Here you got a convicted sex offender, George Kennedy, who the relatives and people around her say that they were dating. And in fact, apparently, she says that was one of the lines, one of the questions that she failed in her polygraph when she was asked, if she was dating him. She said no. And that's what she said. Well, that's her story. Then you've got another character, Roy Smith, another sex offender. What is she thinking about? I'm sorry. We're not saying that these guys are suspects or anything else, but police have looked at this and they haven't discounted anybody either, Mike.
Yeah. I want to ask Shane Hinojosa again. Shane, I know this is going to be a tough time for you on so many levels. Have you had that moment where you just thought, you just regretted not being more in little Nevaeh's life? You hadn't seen her for, what, a couple of years?
Yeah, 3 years.
How do you process that, Shane?
It hurts bad, I tried to see her. I have stacks of phone records, I went to court and fought for custody when the mom went to prison. They denied me of that, it hurts me bad, and a lot of people say, well, why weren't you involved in Nevaeh's life more? I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and eventually I just gave up, and when I told, my family, when she turned 16 through 18, she'll come looking for me and ask me why I wasn't in her life, and I'm going to tell her because your mom and your grandmother held a grudge against me for the longest time, and that's the reason why I haven't seen you.
Gotcha. I want to let everybody know that tonight on Nancy Grace at 8 and 10 Eastern, Nancy will be talking with Nevaeh's mom, Jennifer Buchanan. So you don't want to miss that. Again, Nancy's going to be talking to Jennifer Buchanan. We're joined again by Shane Hinojosa, Nevaeh's father. Also.
Apparently, according to an article that I read online, Nevaeh's father, there's a warrant out for his arrest in Monroe County for back child support. So I wonder if that's going to come out.
Law enforcement analyst. Mike, as investigators, got about 30 seconds and we'll continue our conversation. What do you think they're holding on to right now? Because, I mean, we've seen a lot of different little pieces of evidence, at least we think, come out.
Right. You know, they're saying that they believe that this person responsible for this is still in the community. But again, they have not discounted anybody that they've been talking to. They haven't said that they're totally clean yet. So, you know, there's a lot they're not telling us. They're playing it pretty close to the vest. And if I was an investigator, I would.
Okay. We're going to take some of your phone calls on this. We'll continue the discussion on Little Nevaeh Buchanan. 1-877-TEL-HLN's the number.